Hello, my loves. Today I'm going to be talking to you about something that I've just noticed with a lot of my clients. Now, there are so many types of twin flame readers. This we know. We have ones that do cards, ones that do videos, ones that pull stones, ones that work with teas, ones that do oils and other kinds of magic, some that just go off of the stars. And they all have messages, and some of them all kind of go together and seem to be going on the same path, and some of them are kind of askew from each other, and whatever one you resonate with is completely fine. One idea that's been floating around for a really long time is that not everybody receives union. Not everybody is capable of union. Not everybody will ever get there. And yeah, maybe that is true for some people, but I don't think it's a case where it's literally written in the stars that you will not receive union. You can get it if you want it, but there has to be sacrifices. You have to be willing to make choices and changes in your life. If you're in a situation where, let's say, you've tried to get away from your twin to allow there to be that separation, but you've never been able to have that separation, you must force that separation. I don't care if you have to take a month-long vacation somewhere, or you have to rent a new place on the other side of town, or you have to change all of your numbers, or whatever it is you have to do to get that. You need to get that. You need to give yourself that space so that the person can feel that loss so they can do their growing. Because as long as you're going to be in their life and continuing to fulfill whatever needs they want, they're going to continue to treat you however they're going to treat you and then leave. And that's going to cause just like a hamster on a wheel. You're just always going to be going in a circle. If you are the situation where you've had a super long distance, and the person just isn't in your life, they don't want to be in your life, again, you're going to have to make some sort of bold decision, some sort of bold move, and do something about that. Be it an email, be it a text, be it join a club that they're in, or whatever, be present on the social media they're in, or join whatever club they're in. But the thing is about this, if they really have been blocking you and they're happy in like a marriage or something like that, chances are maybe you should just like leave that to be what it is until the day is that they come up and say that that's not what they want, which will probably happen, and it'll probably happen way later in life than you would like, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But you can have soulmates, there's other options. You don't have to sit there and feel like, oh, if I don't have this person, my life is not going to be fulfilled. That's not true. The only reason your life will not be fulfilled is if you don't allow yourself to feel fulfilled, okay? If you don't give yourself what you need, if you don't experience life, if you don't experience love, if you say no to things and pleasures of life, if you're the one that's sitting down instead of dancing, or whatever it is, you have to say yes, and you have to grab life by the horns. You really must. It's just, you got to do it. I don't know how to say it any other way than that. I know it gets really easy to get wrapped up in this idea that, we're just on this willy-nilly, cosmic trip, and, whatever the universe throws at us is all that we're going to get. And to a point, that's kind of true. The universe has stuff it wants to throw on us, but we can direct what the universe throws at us. We can't always direct when, but if you're really good on your focus and you would just have the ideal situation in mind as crystal clear as if you already have it in your hand, then chances are it's going to come extremely quick, way quicker than you could have come up with if you figured out all the ins and outs on how it was going to come about in the first place. I will say this, beyond any reader, any mystic, any prophet, any twin flame guru, anything, the most powerful tool you have at hand is your own mind. Your own mind and your own emotions. If you can will yourself to feel the feeling of excited, I mean really excited, like little kid on Christmas excited, and you can have that feeling, you can create whatever you want. Same goes if you have a really sad emotion. Any kind of sad emotion is going to be a really strong emotion. Anger is a really strong emotion. When we have these emotions, whatever we typically think about at that time, we're giving power to that. We're giving power for that to manifest beyond just normal thought. So if you can harness that, like I had a trick where even if I was upset, I would say something positive to myself. And because even though the words didn't match up with the emotion is strong. So I want to make sure that whenever there's a strong emotion, what I want to focus on is going to happen. So I would say large amounts of money come easily and frequently to me. That was my main mantra because I've been a very poor person my whole life. My whole family was kind of poor. We did okay, but I mean, not really. I mean, it was a lot of struggling, you know. And I mean, I never went like without food or anything, but I mean, we definitely were not above the poverty level. And I was painfully aware of that when I was very young. So my whole thing was, okay, even if something's bad happening to me, say large amounts of money come easily and frequently to me. And that's what I would do. And it took me a while to realize it was working. I would get random calls for face painting, and I'd get about $100 for the gig for face painting. I was there for like 2 hours, got $100. Kids were happy. I'm happy, could pay some bills. Things like that would happen. Somebody would call me randomly, could you paint me a picture of my beagle? Or could you, sew this for my kid? Or could you do this or that, make wings, a corset, random stuff. So I would get random, kind of large amounts, chunk of money. Now, it wasn't enough to keep me going. I didn't have my focus super dialed in, but I knew kind of in my heart where that was leading me. Later in life, I'm still not like well off, but money isn't my biggest focus. It's health and the people I love is always my biggest focus at this point in time. And I was in a lot of kind of abusive relationships. And when I say kind of abusive, that's really downplaying it, but I don't need to go into all the aspects of how I was abused. But I was in several very abusive relationships. And so it got to a point where all I wanted was love. And so I literally took time and sat down like a psychopath and wrote pages to myself. And the pages were literally line after line after line after line of the same thing. I had one full page of I am treasured, where it just repeated it over and over, countless times. I had one where I am loved, where I am precious. What else did I say? I'm kind and giving. I went on and I just like had like 6 or 7 pages of just positive affirmations of how I was treated, how the world perceived me, and how I perceived myself. And I wrote them over and over. I'd like to say at the time I went about doing this, I had just gotten out of a very abusive relationship where the person literally tried to murder me, and as a result, I ended up with a broken wrist, and I had just barely had my wrist out of the cast for not even a month. And I was literally in pain as I was writing these things, because I was trying to just write as much as I possibly could, but I was focused. I was determined. I wasn't going to let pain stop me. I wasn't going to let the past stop me because I knew in my heart I'm a good person and I deserve to have love too. There's no reason I don't have love. There's no reason I don't have somebody who respects me or has that bit of friendship. So, I think I wrote that too, I have a best friend, I'm, respected, things like that, like really important things, not monetary things, like really, really, really important things. When I did this way before I even knew I had a twin flame. I had seen my twin flame literally one time the year before all of this had happened, but I didn't even think about him after that. I mean, he was really hot when I first saw him because of his eye, but I literally had never thought about him again. And so when October swung around, I had already written these papers out. It had been a while. I was being rejected by every man I tried to pursue would reject me. And I was just feeling like, why? Why are all these men that I'm trying to pursue reject me? I'm beautiful, right? Everybody tells me I'm beautiful. I'm nice, aren't I? I try to be really nice. I'm funny, aren't I? I try to be funny. I go with the flow. What's wrong with me? Well, what I didn't know is that was the universe's way of keeping me single so that my twin would have a chance to see me. Because I am a very loyal person. It's really hard for me to break up with people. And even in my karmatic relationship, I had wanted to leave for the last 4 of the 9 years. And it took me those 4 years to finally pull the trigger on that. So I think the universe knew it had to keep me single. Because if I wasn't single, I would just go ahead and fall, back into the same pattern of whatever kind of docile abuse or whatever that I needed to do for whoever I was with. So it was kind to me. And I met my twin and we started dating that October, and then we dated until New Year's, and then we had a separation where he definitely initiated the separation, and that destroyed me like it does all twins. But then I found myself and I really was determined to work on myself for myself, but I kept sending him positive energies and positive vibes, and I've talked about a bunch of the things that I've done in my meditations and things to get him back that I believed worked and helped. And in just a couple months, I think it was like 2 or 3 months, he was back in my arms, and we are together now, and like in for sure union. We're just waiting on like money and stuff. If I had a house of my own, he would already be living with me. So, or if he did, either one of us. So I'm just extremely grateful for life. And I'm here to say that, I had readers tell me that my twin and me were never going to get together. I did. After I found out who he was and we broke up, I had several readers say, he's not the man for you. You're never going to get together. You need to just move on. And in my heart of hearts, I said, no, he's my twin. Mine. He's mine. I can't get him off my mind if I wanted to. I can't get him off of my heart. I can't get him out of my atmosphere. So this isn't going to work for me. I need us. I need us like there needs to be air to breathe. And this is what I decided, because in the end of the day, he is my all. He really, really is. He's my love. He's my king. He's my home. And I'm that for him. I'm his queen. I'm his home. I'm his best friend. I mean, the time we are with each other, you can't describe the feeling. It is just a cosmic feeling. It really, really is. It's more epic and spiritual. And me and him plan on doing a video as soon as we're a little bit better to show everybody, and talk to everybody about what it is to be with your twin and what that's like, and where, how intense is that, and all those things, because it's true. It is. It's very intense. So, but I mean, if you're one of those people and you're like, okay, they told me that it's never going to happen, or I feel like it's never going to happen because they won't pull their head out or whatever, you might need to be pulling the trigger on the big first move on that one, be it actually moving or making contact or being the one to force the memories back, or I don't know, but you have to think about it. If you've been doing the 3D work or the 5D work, you've been sending in positive energy, you've been doing your positive manifestations, you've cut ties to negative things, you've opened your heart to receive, you've forgiven the other people in your life. Now, if you haven't forgiven the other people in your life who've hurt you, that's why you're not together. I mean, or it could be a big reason. If you're holding on to old baggage, if you have negative ties connected to you, I mean, there's all kinds of different reasons why they could not be coming together. I do readings. I do. I do. As you ladies know, and gentlemen, if somebody would be liking a reading, let me know, because we can definitely do that. And see exactly what your blockage is, because I will be able to see exactly what the blockage is. If it's on your twin side and you're like, man, I have done my part, I've done everything, and it's really just up to them now, well, I understand that. We all understand that. But that doesn't mean that maybe your work is 100% done. Because I can't believe that. I don't resonate at all with people who say that something can never happen, because my entire life has been lived on impossibilities coming true, like legit my entire life. So it's very hard for me to believe that anybody is destined to not have the person that they love most, but to know about them. Like, that's got to be the most beeped up thing that I've ever heard. Right up there with, like, animals don't go to heaven. I don't believe that either. I believe animals go to heaven, most definitely. So, but this is all my opinion, be it as it may. I love you all so much. I hope you guys have the best day. Please check out my Patreon. If you're a Patreon subscriber already, I love you guys all so much, and I'm trying to come up with something extra special for everybody who's been a Patreon supporter since the beginning, because there are a few of you who've just been there and hung in there, and you deserve a little something extra. So I'm going to be bringing that to you very, very soon. And for the rest of you, I just hope you all have the best day ever, and I love you, and goodbye.